Hey guys, it's Darren. So having flown this now for a number of times, I can give you my honest opinion of this drone. Now the excitement has started to wear off, the dust has settled a little bit, that initial Christmas morning opening presents has wore off, and now we can talk about the DJI Mavic 3, and it's almost perfect. Let's get into that video. So I've made some notes, so bear with me, but let's just look at it. This drone just looks absolutely spectacular. I love the colour of it. I love the way it just looks aggressive, the stance of this. It's like nothing else. This cover is also absolutely fantastic. It looks a bit strange, yes, but it's magnetic and it keeps the propellers nicely in place, and it also covers completely the front camera. This is brilliant. This should come with all future DJI drones for sure. Brilliant. So the main feature on this drone clearly is this huge micro four thirds Hasselblad sensor on the front of it and the telephoto lens above. Both are exceptional and work in their own ways. You've seen from the two videos I've done that the main camera, that micro four thirds camera, is super nice and sharp. Really good picture and video quality coming out of this. And I'm flying it in terrible weather in the UK at the moment. Overcast skies, really windy, not very nice to fly in, but it looks really good even in them conditions. So I cannot wait for some good weather and actually show you just how good this can actually look. The Explorer mode camera, the telephoto camera, zoom camera, call it what you like, that zooms up to 28 times and it is incredible. The 7 times zoom is optical, that's like a fixed lens, and the 7 times is so nice to look at on my laptop on the big screen. Even for you guys seeing it on YouTube, once YouTube have done all the compressions, it still looks so nice. Just look at this shot here. So I'm quite far away from this building, and then we can zoom in from 2 times, 4 times, 7 times, all the way. And you can see this couple here having a drink in the cafe. It's scarily good. So for search and rescue, for police, I think so many are going to be picking this up just for that feature alone. Because of this huge sensor, we've got 5.1K and it looks amazing. You can see on this shot here, because it's 5.1K, we can crop in as well. So it goes up to 50 FPS, so we can slow this down by half. You can see that on this bike shot here, the person on the bike, I can film them in 5.1K, looks great, but I can also slow that down into some nice slow-mo and then crop in and crop in again, and it still looks brilliant. So that's really good. In 4K, you've got 4K all the way up to 120 FPS. So I'm just waiting for some good weather and creative opportunities then to showcase just how good that is. We've got Cinema 4K, which adds some cinematic bars on the top. And 1080p at the moment, that's just up to 60 FPS, but that's going all the way up to a huge 200 FPS very soon. I will be talking about that later in the video. Now the picture profiles on this, got H.264 on here and H.265. That goes all the way up to 200 megabits per second on H.264, and H.265 is 140 megabits per second. H.265 will be slightly better quality, slightly crispier, and I'll just put a couple of examples on now between H.264 and H.265. And we've also got D-Log, which is D-Log 10-bit, so that's going to be the highest best quality you can get, and that is a really flat picture profile. And what that enables you to do is it gathers so much more detail, so then you have to then go and color grade it, and then once you've color graded it or added some LUTs, then it looks really nice. But that's just an extra step you've got to do. But to be honest, from using all three, all of them just look absolutely outstanding. So if I've got, say, no color grading experience whatsoever, don't let that put you off. You could literally just get this and fly it in H.264 or H.265, which my last two videos have been, and still get amazing results. Now finally, it's about the speed and raw power of this. Coming from flying from the DJI Mini 2 and DJI Air 2S, this is just on another level completely. The power and responsiveness from it, it's so fast. It spins round and changes direction within a second. You can go to different directions. The vertical speed, just watch this, how it goes from 10 meters up to 110 meters in a few seconds. It's so fast, and it also descends really quick as well. So getting to places with this is super quick. Look how fast it comes down on this shot from 110 directly down to 10 meters. It's so quick, and it's even faster in sports mode. Sports mode on here, talking about that, is phenomenally fast. It turns all the sensors off, so you've got to be careful. But yeah, the speed and raw power of it are on another level. Also, because it's got that extra weight and power, it's a tank in the air. You've seen on that last video, the zoom video I did, was about 30-mile-an-hour gusts, and it was high up, 100 meters in the air, and it was just sat there like a tank in the air. So this is OcuSync 3 and a 15-kilometer max range, which is just insane. But what it brings is, it brings not only a 1080p 60 live feed, what you can see, which is super important to have a responsive and good feed on your phone, but it also brings a rock solid, strong signal. So I've been flying it in high Wi-Fi areas in Blackpool, under North Pier, where you would think it would lose signal. It didn't even lose a bar of signal. That strong signal is incredible, and it's going to be really useful. They also have APAS 5.0, so this is 360 degrees obstacle avoidance. So the obstacle avoidance will detect, it's got a nice little noise that comes on the app now for any objects nearby, and it'll come up on the screen. So this shouldn't be crashable. I will be testing that out really soon, but by having 360 degrees obstacle avoidance, that is going to be perfect also for active track once that's unlocked. I'm going to put it down because it was weighing my hand down a little bit. It was hitting my arm. It's also got pro settings in photo and video. So now on here, because it's not just a fixed focal length, you can change it from f2.8 up to f11. Also promo settings, like you can change the ISO and the shutter speed, but that will be great for nighttime shots, for low light shots. I'll be testing all that out as soon as I get some ND filters as well. That'll be really useful to see how that works. I think I'm going to call it the Beast. I mean, it's a strong drone. It's scarily good. What else? So the return to home has also changed. I'll do a separate full video on this, but it uses an intelligent return to home now. So before, whatever you used to set the return to home altitude, it would just, wherever it was, it would go climb, go back to you in one straight line, and then descend. What it does now is, so it will pinpoint where you are, and it will come back and kind of track its own route back to you. But in a nutshell, if you just look at this clip, it's quite far away, it's pretty high up, and normally it would just go in one straight line and descend. But now, as you can see, it comes back to me at some speed, but it descends and flies almost like diagonal down for its flight path towards me, and then lands perfectly in place. The only downside is that a massive flock of birds then just suddenly turned up, as you can see in this clip, and tried to take the drone out, but luckily it's still here. So with all them good things, what is holding this back? Well, at the moment there's only a couple of things I can think of, and normally by at least this point, normally on the first flight, I've found faults with drones that come out. So with this drone, what's holding it back is it's not ready fully yet. So what I mean by that is that this drone for me is 50% ready. Now I to and fro with my opinion of this all the time, but I can see what DJI have done. They've not released all the features on this yet. They're going to release these in January on a big, huge firmware update. Would you rather have had it now? Yes, but then if they're not ready, I would rather wait and then be really good and perfect in January, rather than it comes out, say the active track, and it's not very good, or it's crashing into things, or it's buggy, and then we'll be all like, oh, it's a lot of rubbish, this drone. So it takes a lot from DJI to think, no, hang on, we're going to release this drone now and then give you everything in a month's time when it's going to be perfect. Not many companies would do that, so it's a risky move, and I hope it pays off. But talking of what's not available just yet, and it's quite a list, this is what's coming in January. So we're going to see that new active track. That's going to be the main one for me. 360 degrees of sensors, intelligent tracking. I'm going to test that out to its potential. That's going to be great. Can't wait for that. Master shots, like we saw in the DJI Air 2S, that is also coming on here. We're going to have quick shots. Hopefully we might see a new quick shot. So that'd be good to see. Hyperlapse and waypoints. Now waypoints seems to be only on hyperlapse, so that's disappointing. I hope we see that full waypoints on here. It will be insane. And 1080p 200 fps is also coming in January. So it's going to be one massive firmware update. What I would have liked to see is, and I do like this controller, but we've got this really nice drone in this lovely colour, and then we have this controller, the exact same controller from the DJI Air 2S and Mini 2. And I'm not saying the controller is bad, because it's not, but we could have at least had something to show that this came with the Mavic 3, so that we could have at least matched the colours. That would have been good. We could have had an extra FN button on here somewhere, or some extra buttons on the back. Something to distinguish that this is the Mavic 3, the expensive flagship top of the tier drone, and we've just got the same controller that the bundle with the Mini series. And I just think that should have been better, and that was definitely an oversight. Now on the back of it is where you charge the drone, and also the memory card slot goes. And because it's so small, it makes it really hard to get that memory card out. Now this is how good this drone is when I'm picking about little things like that. So yes, the drone itself is the best drone I've ever flown. Phantom series, Mavic series, it's absolutely insanely good. Nothing really bad to say about it, aside from I would have liked these features, or at least some of them extra features, to be ready now. And just the controller, it doesn't really go with it. I know you could get the Cine model, but we shouldn't have to. This should have been different in some way, at least as a minimum, the design or the colour. And the DJI Fly app, at the moment, this will 100% get better in time. It's still too basic. So in conclusion, this is a fantastic beast of a drone. I absolutely love it. It's, as I said, the best drone I've ever flown. Now, I get asked this question a lot, and if you are considering getting a bigger drone like the DJI Air 2S or this, if you can, from flying it just from my limited experience with this, and with the drone being only half ready, I would get this if I had to restart. If it means saving up or selling more or waiting longer to get this, it's worth it. It's going to last you longer. The quality is better. That flying performance, how strong it is, how responsive it is in the air, is worth it. The Air 2S was brilliant. I love that drone. I sold that to get this, and this is better in every way. And don't forget that DJI Air 2S, the active track, didn't have side sensors on it. The new version probably won't have side sensors either. So this will last you a number of years. You do, if you're in the UK, are going to need an A2 course to fly this where you want to fly it. That's the same with the Air 2S as well. So I'll link in the description the one I recommend, that's UAV Hub. You can do that in about 48 hours and have that qualification emailed to you, and then you can fly that in a lot more places. But yeah, initial findings on this, absolutely spot on. Love it to death. And I'll be showing you a lot more of the features I've mentioned in today's video really soon. So if you're new around here, like and subscribe would be excellent. I really appreciate it. Appreciate every single one of you commenting. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you agree with these points? And are you still considering, because I know a lot of you are, about buying one of these after watching these videos? Take care. See you all soon, guys. Bye bye.